Ladies and gentlemen, it's still Prime Morning, and my name is Esiodua Akumya. It's time for Let's Talk Relationship, and I love the topic that we're about getting into, and I know that we have one of the perfect women for this conversation. She's here to tell it all. She's here to help you and I get to really understand what it means like being like the backbone of a man who is in the front, who is in the faces of many and doing his best to, not just please people or not just satisfy the populace, but also home as well. And how she's able to balance what she's personally doing and the support that she gives to her husband. And the statement that we popularly know behind every successful man is a woman. But I've also heard this statement being changed a bit by Felix, Pastor Felix Adejumo. She's a woman. I've forgotten her first name, where she said that it's rather beside every successful man is a great woman, not behind. What is the woman doing behind? I don't know for you. So let's get highly interactive on this particular one. Our Facebook page is Joy Prime, and we are live on YouTube at Joy Prime TV. You can take our WhatsApp number 055-157-5757. Ladies and gentlemen, I have seated with me this morning the beautiful, I told her she's very beautiful. You can attest to it that she is, Mrs. Mary Anane Awuku. She's an educationist, and she's an entrepreneur, and she's also the wife of Honorable or Mr. We all know him as Sammy Awuku for short. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good, Esiodua.
Yeah. Actually, you look good. I love the hair. I love the orange. Oh, you look super good.
Thank you.
So, first of all, the first question that I will put to you is, how has it been personally as a woman developing yourself, especially in the field that you find yourself in, before we even come to what you have done over the period when it comes to supporting your husband, being there for your husband?
Yeah. Developing myself has been quite challenging because coming from a not so affluent family where it got to a time paying school fees was even a struggle after junior high school. It's been tough, but God has seen us through. We currently have multiple degrees, currently doing a PhD program as well, and with the businesses I run. So it hasn't been easy, but the not giving up spirit is what has brought me this far.
Being a woman, let's narrow it down to that. How has it been climbing up the ladder of where you have found yourself now?
I think the major challenge is when you have to combine with family responsibilities. It is very possible for a woman to attain whatever height she wants to attain. But when you get into marriage and the children start coming and you still have to go to work, probably still continue education, all those things combined, it's not easy. But so far as you set your mind to it, that this is what you want to achieve, you can.
Before getting married and before, having children, what was the plan that you had for yourself?
I told myself, with respect to education, doing my undergrad program, that until I attain a PhD, I'm not going to stop education. And it's taken a while, almost 20 years, but I'm currently doing it, because marriage, work, you have to save a bit towards it and all. So now I'm doing a PhD, and I think I'm getting there. I told myself I was going to be an entrepreneur. I worked 3 years in Zenith Bank. I challenged myself. I resigned to start that entrepreneurial journey. I've educated myself, surrounded myself with mentors who can help me to get to that level. So the ladder is still being climbed. I know majority of what I said to myself, even before marriage, I'm very close.
Although it took long.
But
and you never gave up.
Exactly.
You knew exactly what you wanted then. I believe so.
Yeah.
You did.
I did.
Was it easy for you to get all that you needed to get there?
Not at all. Not at all. Like I told you, challenging family. And mother, a petty trader, it wasn't easy. Where I think I find myself now is very different from where I came from.
Yeah.
And I've had a very supportive family. I've had a very supportive husband as well. And being at where I am today is all by grace as well.
Speaking about having a very supportive husband, a lot of the times when you hear some of the stories of, women who have done well, women who are married and are hoping to still achieve what they plan on achieving, they get married and some of these men want them to be on the path that they believe would be right for them.
Yeah.
What was the case like for you at the beginning of your marriage or before you got married?
I've never had that resistance. I think that he's been supportive, even though sometimes it takes me away from home for a while. I started having kids 2015, and that was the teething stage of my businesses. I started with a facility management company.
Okay.
I remember within the first 2-3 months after having the child, I had to still go to sites, inspect some of these cleaning sites. And I would carry this 2-month-old baby in my car because I need to check on them and I don't have any reliable person to leave the child with. So these were some of the struggles. Of course, the man wouldn't be too happy with it, but it's communication. It's how you go about it. And at around 3-4 months old, I took her to school. Quite challenging because this was not my school, which I have now. So you cannot really trust the process or the systems in the school.
Yeah.
But I took that risk. In life, to attain anything, you need to sacrifice something.
That's true.
So I took the child very early, and then I was on the way going, checking on the sites, quite a number of times. Pregnant with my fourth, I was sitting in the classroom doing my second master's program.
What?
Heavily pregnant with the third. I was running all over the place, setting up the campus to start my school. And so I've kind of juggled a lot of things, together, but it's brought us to where we are now.
And look at how beautiful you are. Like nobody would ever imagine that this is what you've been through. Yeah. Like it's not showing. There's no scar on you that shows that this is what you actually have gone through.
Unfortunately, our struggles don't show. It's the successes that people see.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, when you met Sammy Awuku, how were things like?
We met when we were both in school.
Okay.
University of Ghana.
Okay.
He was in the 4th year, and then I was in my 2nd year. So how we met was through politics. I've also been a student politician. Okay. Right from senior high all the way. So in contesting for Water Hall president, I met him. So he was my coach. Supporting me with manifesto writing, public speaking.
Okay.
So I was introduced to him by my predecessor to support me with that political journey to get that. So we were both on campus.
Okay. So that was where both of you met.
Yeah.
Now, you got married to him. Let's look at how you had to really understand that is the path that your husband is going on and what you had to bring on board to push him and be that, in quote, perfect wife.
Because we met quite early, what we have now, what we see now, wasn't what existed then. Because we're all in school. He had just completed, about to start his national service. So between us, it was just two young people in love. Nothing too scary as a big political figure. But as we grew up, and because I also came into politics, I kind of understood where this might take him.
So you knew that he would one day get into politics?
He was a student leader.
Yes.
He was also going through the political, student political life.
So you knew what you were signing in for?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay.
And we both enjoyed it. We all enjoyed some form of leadership positions. So we grew into it bit by bit. He joined the communication team. Over time, became the national youth organizer. Became the national organizer. So it came bit by bit. And because it wasn't too new to me, based on what I saw him do in school, we embraced it and we've supported each other since.
I know that definitely there have been times where he has to be away from home. He has to be away from family.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that it started early, very early in your marriage. Aha. So yes, you would say that you got used to that, but then the desire for wanting to have your husband home, maybe your kids wanting to have their father home and all of that. How did you have to manage everything?
I mentioned earlier that to be able to succeed, you have to sacrifice something.
Yes.
And so for the man to get to the height he has to go, we need to sacrifice something. And that was more of the relationship, sitting together every day, chit-chatting. And what helped me was that the kids were around, and I also had something going on. My businesses. I started a facility management company just before I got married. So in 2012. So it's not as if I was also idle. So he focuses on achieving his dreams. I also focus on doing my business and taking care of the home.
I have interviewed a number of counselors, and one of the things that they put out there all the time is that as a woman, make sure you have something going on for you before you get married.
Exactly.
Can you elaborate on that for me? Pair your experience.
Very true, because if you're idle, that is when you would feel the absence of the man.
Okay.
But if you have something going on, you wake up, you're also going to work.
Yeah.
Because you don't even have the time to sit at home.
Yeah.
You know, fine, on weekends, you can find a right moment to spend time together. So what I do with my husband is that we have a family day out. So if it's a Friday, he will try to make time.
Okay.
Because you have to make a conscious effort to make time.
Yeah.
You know, both of us, because we all have very big dreams.
Yeah.
You know, if you all get out there and you don't consciously make an effort to put the family together, you would always be out there. You know, so just as he is moving all over the place, trying to make an impact as a public servant, the same way we also have entrepreneurial dreams and journeys that we have to make. That we have 4 kids, and so we have to consciously make an effort to support.
I know you have mentioned about sacrifice. Well, what were some of the other things that you had to do to be that supportive wife to your husband?
A lot.
Okay.
You know, a lot in terms of building our home.
Okay.
You know, at a point I was more like a contractor or a foreman on site. You know, always making sure that I'm there.
Yeah.
His absence shouldn't cause a problem for the children. You know, his absence, I have to be there as a father and make sure that discipline and everything we have to do to nurture the children well is done.
Yeah.
There are times that a mother would even say, if I don't get my son, I will call you, and you have to give me updates and all that.
On his way.
So you have to be the son for the mother to be able to speak to, because there are times he wouldn't be able to pick his call.
Yeah.
So quite a number of things, and it's when you understand what he's doing, these support comes naturally.
I would say that luckily for you, when you started early on with him, you were both into something together, and that was the student politics.
Exactly.
And so you understand the terrain, you understood the terrain, you understood every single thing that was happening. So would you say it was easier for you to understand the point or the pedestal with which that your husband was reaching in politics?
It was. It contributed to me being able to support him as I am doing.
Yeah.
And I also think the upbringing, you know, a lot of respect. My dad is an evangelist.
Okay.
So a lot of respect. So regardless of who you're dealing with, you don't need to know somebody to care and respect the person. Right. So the upbringing also contributed a lot to how I manage my home. Because the same man, somebody probably would handle it differently. Yeah. You know, even though you know the person, because it could be challenges, but you still have to keep up a very good smile, you know.
I know. And I would, you know what? I think that at this point, I would say that we all end up have to, one way or the other, learn how to be pretenders.
Exactly.
To pretend to be happy, to pretend to be okay. All because, we don't want people seeing so much of what we could possibly be going through, you know, behind closed doors and everything. Now, okay, so you were here and you've done so well for yourself. Congratulations so far. I mean, and for the fact that you had a certain goal, and that was you would go as far as getting your PhD in education. And you're currently getting there. You're doing it. Yeah. Now, when it comes to backlash, when it comes to being trolled, how did you as the woman shield your family, especially your children, from all of this that was happening?
These things, I don't know, because whether it's because I'm a psychologist, and so you kind of understand how people behave.
Okay, so please hold on. I need to add that to your accolades. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Mary Anane Awuku, she's a psychologist, educationist, entrepreneur. What again? Because we have to let people know that you're doing good. What again?
I think it's okay for now.
Okay for now. Okay, yes. So we're good.
Yeah. So when you understand how people behave, you don't always you don't flip all the time.
Okay.
You don't get emotional all the time. There are several things that an ordinary person would do and get away with it.
Yeah.
But immediately a public figure is handled differently.
Yeah.
So you need to understand that is how that terrain is. So that you're still there as a protective wife and mother for the family. Because if external people are bashing, and internal people who are supposed to be the support are also bashing. What happens to the person?
Yeah.
So in thinking about all these things, the kind of environment we find ourselves, the kind of people who surround us, you need to be able to mature and be there for him.
Would you say it's difficult being the wife of a politician?
It's not. It's sweet.
It's sweet.
Yes.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
It's sweet because it comes with advantages and disadvantages. That is life. You cannot just look at the disadvantage part and ignore the opportunities that it comes with.
Yeah.
So you need to have a good balance.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Let's Talk Relationship with me, Esiodua Akomia, and we're getting into the whole idea, the whole understanding of behind every successful man is a great woman. And I'm seated with the wife of Sammy Awuku. Sammy Awuku has chalked his successes in the face of politics here in Ghana, and he's the former CEO of the National Lottery Authority. He did impeccably well when he was the CEO of NLA. And see, a lot of us can attest to it, that he did his bid. He's a great man. But the woman beside him, I need to make that statement clear, the woman beside him, today we are throwing the spotlight on her and how she's managed over the years to be that supportive wife to this great man. She is great herself. But one thing that I've learned so far with all that she's saying is that she did not let her dedication to her children and her family stop her from her personal achievements. And that is, it's super great. She's currently, getting her PhD. She's in school at the moment, and it's great. So please, if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, opinions that you would want to share with Mrs. Awuku, please hop onto our Facebook page. It is Joy Prime, or you can take our WhatsApp number 055-157-5757. If you're a lady, you're about getting married, you're confused about something, I think that she's the perfect person to ask any questions in relation to marriage at the moment. Mrs. Awuku, in general, would you say, I know I have made the statement, I corrected myself with the behind every successful man is a woman, brother, it should be beside every successful man. Would you say you have been beside him all through and through?
The question I ask myself is, why are we saying the woman is the wife?
Okay.
The woman could be the mother. A woman could be a sister. I think it's a natural instinct of a woman or of a female to want to protect, to want to love, to want to support, and this starts from looking back to toddlers. A young girl would want to play with her doll and take care of her doll and comb her hair and do all those protective stuff that we currently are doing as mothers, so I think it cuts across. And for me, that statement is not that of a wife necessarily, or only.
Be a sister.
As we say, it takes a whole village to develop somebody. So before the man met you, the wife, he had a family. He had brothers and sisters. The person has friends, the person has mentors, spiritual leaders, quite a number of people play a role into someone's success. So for me, I don't encourage wives to take sole possession of that success.
Right.
It's a collective thing. Because the person leaves the house, goes out there, meets other people, So let's not, take that sole success story to be our making. We do make a huge contribution, yes, we do. Because right at the time that the man begins to develop into a full man, begins to see his successes come or his destinies come to reality, we will be the people there.
Yeah.
And so that's why it looks like we are the one. That aside even human beings, there's a supreme being that also makes a huge impact in terms of favors, in terms of opportunities. And so we need to look at it holistically.
The next question I will ask you is that, so with the show, I've had the opportunity, like I said earlier, to meet a lot of counselors. And they've said a lot of things in relation to how, as a woman, you can contribute to being that wife, being that, in quote, perfect, although there's not that perfect, but perfect wife to your husband. What did you exactly have to be doing to bring some level of peace in your home, to make it very okay for your husband to still run into your arms every single day?
The power of silence.
Silence?
Yeah, the power of silence. You don't focus on negativities. You try to encourage and support.
Okay.
Because women love to talk a lot.
Yeah.
And so everything you see or hear might trigger some form of dispute or things you might say that might break him.
Yeah.
And so we need to learn, not that you shouldn't speak at home, but you need to be able to understand that we are human. And as I say again, I don't know whether it's my background that has kind of coached me in knowing who people are, understanding people, knowing how to communicate with people. But I'm not easily triggered to say things that I'm not supposed to say, or say things that I would regret tomorrow.
You know the when, the where, and the how. At this point, I think that's what it is. You just know, you have learned to know the right time to speak when you're supposed to. Yeah. Or when you know that your words will fall on fertile ground.
Exactly.
It's beautiful. Silence. And earlier you said something that women are talkers. We don't keep mute about a lot of things. Sometimes we are very quick to speak because we want to understand what could possibly go on. Why this? Why that?
Yeah.
What do you think about this and what do you think about that? But when you have to be silent, could you not be missing out on certain things? Could you not be giving the ticket for, oh, it's okay, go ahead to do whatever you want to do. I'm not going to say anything. I'll just bump my eyelid and pretend I've not even seen it or heard it.
Okay. So my mother, I lost her about 5 years ago.
Oh, so sorry.
Before she passed, she had been married to my father for 51 years.
Ooh.
It took a lot of sacrifices. We learn from the kind of environment we grew up in.
That's true.
And so you are not condoning to the act of a man if it is not right. There is a way of going about it. So, like I said, you're not going to just be mute as if you don't care, but how you go about it. When do you speak?
Yeah.
So you need to know when to speak.
Yeah.
Is it when the act happens, immediately you also rebel and you start speaking? Or you give yourself time. You need to ponder over the things you're saying and ensure that it's going to make a positive impact. It's not going to cause more damage.
Yeah.
So when to speak, what to say when you're speaking, and make sure that it is going to work in your favor.
In your favor.
In your favor.
At the end of the day, that's what's important. Everything has to be in our favor.
Yeah.
But was it easy? Did he make it easy for you to exude your traits as a wife?
He's a very calm, very understanding person. He's never raised his voice.
Oh,
So he's a very sweet person. So it makes it a bit easy
okay.
for us to communicate.
Yeah.
You know, there are times that he wouldn't also want to say anything. There are times that I'll be quiet. So
What did you see in him at the beginning that made you very sure that this man, I can spend the rest of my life with him?
That calm nature. I think it's an Akuapem thing.
Okay.
Very calm, very respectful, you know, because as a young woman at that age, you would definitely know of a couple of people.
Yeah.
And then you would have to decide that this is the right person.
Yeah.
So that was more visible in him. You know, it wasn't, like I said, we were both in school. He had just finished, about to start national service. So it wasn't even anything material, but it was the character. And that is what becomes lasting. If at a point you, the woman, even makes money, then the money of the man is not really something that you would want to fall on.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
I also had big dreams and I also knew I wanted to do so many things.
Okay.
It was more about the character, the attitude of the person. Is this something you can live with for the rest of your life?
Now, let's come back to present day, or, you know, just about, let's say, somewhere last year, the whole elections, the loss and everything, or over the time when he had, or not just he personally, but the party that he's affiliated to, they had to experience loss. When he came home, how did you as a wife have to deal with that? And how did you have to handle everything?
We met in 2007, and in 2008, the NPP went into opposition.
Yeah.
So I married 2012, opposition all the way until 2016.
Okay.
So opposition wasn't something I had not experienced
before. Okay.
And anytime we have a major election, whether it is his internal positions like the youth or the organizer or whatever, I always tell him you need to have that balance to expect anything. Because if you are overly positive that you would win and it goes contrary to what you think, that is when you might have all the unnecessary, you know, health issues and emotional problems and all that. So I don't know whether I am the devil's advocate or the bad one, but I always ensure that we are ready for the worst. You know, just to make it. So it was painful, of course, because they've put in a lot of work. It was painful, but it was accommodating a bit.
At the end of the day, I believe that you have done a great job being an amazing wife to him. And congratulations to you on that.